Okay, hi, this is Dr. Leah, and I am Nature Brain Doc, and I am here to solve your time management problems. Why? Because I know all about time management and I've learned on the job, so maybe you have too, but here's the point. Here's the point. If your time needs management, then you have to change the way that you manage time. Make sense? You got to change your brain a little bit. So I made you a note. I made you a little list of things to do, a time management checklist. And that is one, list and prioritize. And so we're going to go over number one today. There's a ton of other things that I can do, like resources to how to delegate to people, who to delegate to, what to delegate after we prioritize our list. But I think the number one, I think I'm going to take it from Stephen Covey, who wrote um, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And he wrote that 30 years ago or whatever, and he nailed it in that you need to look at what you're spending time on. It's not necessarily that you have any more or less time than anyone else, right? You have the amount of time that you're supposed to have in this earth. And so let's see how fast we can get to your goals by focusing on the things that matter most. All right. So number two on the list is going to be making deadlines for these things. So have this in mind. Delegate to people, and we will go over that in future videos, how to delegate, who to delegate to. You do not want to delegate to people who are not going to take your precious ideas and make them so. So it's appropriate delegation. Um, let's see, get rid of distractions. So you can use all kinds of apps and fancy things, or you can just close everything or have a specific desktop that you use within your computer that's clean. So there's a ton of ways that we'll go through how to do these things. Treat your control center. Your control center is what is taking all of the things, all of your dreams, and all of the things that you know that you can do and that you want to do in this world and making it so or making it hard. A lot of people value hard work, and so they're going to make it hard. A lot of people value or get comfort from the same way that they've been doing things all their life. And that is why your brain is going to make it so you get the same results all your life. So we are really going to be making headway with that with the brain reboot program and all of a sudden, subconscious programming. And you can also check out naturebraindoc.com and go to the store and see all the different ways that you can treat your brain from the outside in as well. So I love the inside out model. It does take a little bit of wrestling with some people, but to take a pill or to take, water in every day or whatever it is, those things can be put on your calendar, put in your reminders, and prioritized to make the control center work better. Okay. Next thing on our list, set up reminders. And I kind of touched base with a little bit on that just now about setting reminders for eating, for feeding yourself, for feeding your brain, for drinking half your body weight in ounces per day throughout the day, not just all at once, like, okay, got it done, and it's 9 o'clock at night. Not good. Drink it throughout the day, just like you do your goals throughout the day. I love the sprint. I get it, but it's not effective. Consistency is going to be effective. And so drinking water consistently throughout the day is going to be way more helpful for your body. Drinking the right amount of water, I'll go all about into that because I'm kind of a water snob. But honestly, dilution is the solution. If you can get some liquid into your body, that is great. And it's going to stop the brain inflammation. It's going to stop it's going to help the neurotransmitters actually fire in that little space between neurons, so a little synapse. And what a simple thing you can do. So set reminders for those things if you're not good about currently doing them. Okay, we've got 1,000 reminders currently going off, right? Turn off those distractions. That's a great one, actually. These little like dings that you hear come up, those are all the things that are trying to get my attention. And so you have those things too, from kids to emails to notifications on your phone. You have all kinds of distractions. The first thing to do is look that line in the eye and see that those are distractions. Okay, so call them what they are, and that giving them name will empower you. Now we're going to move on to the time matrix. Like I alluded to earlier, managing your time can be as simple as the 4 quadrants in Stephen Covey's book. I love it. I love it. So the first quadrant is the important, urgent pile. Okay. So you get a piece of paper, and I've got a PDF that you can download and you can print it out, or you could just do it really quick if you don't complicate things. So if you don't have your printer set up, or you're out of ink and you got to figure out how to do the drive, or just write it out. It doesn't matter. Scratch a piece of paper, grab a little note card. Okay. So we've got important, not urgent. That's how I did it just now. So important, not urgent, important, urgent, important, not urgent, and not important, not urgent. So let's go through these one at a time, because I think I did those a little bit wrong. So cross your sheet or download the PDF that I have for you and make the first one important and urgent. Now, these are where some of us spend a lot of time in this crisis stage. And this is, oh my gosh, somebody died. We have to do this. Oh my gosh, we have to, address the baby falling off of the bed, right? Now, we'll get into quadrant number 2, which saves quadrant number 1 from happening. But for now, these are the crises. These are the deadlines. This is the boss walking by and you're like, oh, I gotta do this before she gets mad at me, or whatever it is. Those crises go down in that quadrant. That is the rent that you can't pay. That is the car that needs servicing right away, or else you're gonna break down. This is all the projects that you have going that, maybe your membership is going to end in some program that you signed up for and you have to get it done, or it's just not going to be. So it is important and it is urgent. Second quadrant, this is where the highly effective people hang out most. They plan and they get it into the second quadrant. So they're not in this crazy space too much. We're looking for important, but not urgent yet, not crazy town. So the name of the game is moving it into that quadrant, moving it into the, it's okay, I got this, and I don't have to freak out quadrant. But it is important and we're still doing it. So this is prevention is key. This is where naturopathic medicine thrives, right? This is all about preventing things from becoming quadrant 1. This is before it's the deadline, right? You are building relationships, you are building projects, you're planning, this is the R&R phase. It's important to relax, right? It's also important to reach your goals. So you can sit there and pamper yourself all day long and be like, oh, it's important for me to have self-care. Yes. And it's also important for you to do what you're here to do on earth in your time. So that is a form of self-care as well. So that R&R is great, but you got to balance it with all the other things, the new art opportunities that you don't have deadlines for, but that are kind of cool and that you could see yourself doing. The podcast that you're thinking about, that would be really cool to create. The YouTube channel, the whatever the things are that you're like, those are important, but they're not crises yet, or I haven't signed up for them yet, or I want my relationship to be built with this person, but it's not like a crisis. I'm not going to be like, please give me $1 million next week, because I don't want to be in that crisis situation in that quadrant 1, right? So we are really building those relationships. We're preventing bad things from happening. We're doing things ahead of time. We're planning. This is the planning quadrant. So important, but not urgent, not crazy, not running from a tiger. Too much time is spent into quadrant 1, where everything is urgent, everything, and you see everything is urgent. But when you write it down, you will see that some things are not that urgent. So for instance, the not important, not urgent, or I'm sorry, not important, urgent. Let's go back to 1, 2, 3. Now we're down into the third quadrant, which is not important, but it's urgent. Okay, these are the friends that are saying, oh my gosh, can you do this for me right now? I need this Google review. I need this email answered. it's not important. Um, I need you to sign up for this account so that we can get you on this wholesale thing, and then maybe you can integrate that later. It's not important right now for your goals, right? It's like, okay, maybe that'll come up into, maybe that'll go into quadrant two, but it's not really serving me and my goals right now. So when you're looking at the forward thinking, the way I've talked about in Brain Reboot and other programs in the past, like you look at your big goal and then you look at quadrant three. Is it important? This is the same as when you're like cleaning out your house, right? You have to like look at something and be like, is that really, will that pacifier from 1962 really remind me of my, I don't know, my baby mother? I don't know. Like, will that really apply? Or am I just hoarding? So this is the hoarding pile. This is the interruptions. This is the email requests. This is the, hey, can you come to this meeting and do this thing for me? But it's really not important to you. If it's not important to you and it's wasting your time, don't waste other people's time trying to put it into your crazy. Okay. So we're taking things out that are not important, and we're taking things out that are crises. And then we're going to leave the things that are highly effective, like Stephen Covey says. Okay. Popular activities go here, like, oh my gosh, we have this urgent rafting trip that we have to do right now. Well, you didn't put it into quadrant two for the R&R, right? You didn't put it into planning. It's just is happening right now. And that's going to distract you from your goal, from your business, from your kids, from your everything that you actually care about, in the interest of maybe making something happen. But if you don't have time for it, then you don't have time for it. So if it's not important and it's urgent, it's going to go into the distractions pile, the quadrant number three. Okay, so make your list. Now we're into the final quadrant. You ready for this? This is the not important, not urgent pile. Now, usually when I do this, I don't have very many things in this pile, but sometimes it's kind of a boundaries thing. These are trivial things that you do. This is busy work, time wasters. It really, one way to inventory your day, if you're not coming up with anything for this quadrant, is literally to write down what you did. Well, from 8 to 8:30, I kind of popped around the kitchen and I kind of cleaned up a little bit. And then I go, oh, what did I do? I took a walk and I kind of meandered, and then, but I was listening to my audio program, and then I got a little bit distracted with some YouTube videos. And then that's where this is coming in. This is the waste pile. This is not important. It's not urgent. And if you could look at yourself from an outside looking in, you'd go, what are you doing? Why are you doing that particular thing right now? Do you have to? Now, there's some things like washing the dishes. You're like, okay, maybe you're super busy and you're washing the dishes and it takes you an hour when you do like 45 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night or whatever. It takes you an hour of your 24 a day. Now, could you delegate that? Could you have it a chore for the kids to do? Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you have somebody who would like to have something that you have. Like, for instance, somebody might want to learn herbal tea making with me, right? Maybe that somebody is a neighbor. Maybe they come over and they do my dishes in the morning. Who knows? Like, how can you delegate those time wasters out? And there are people all around you who can help. And it's very important to realize that you're not going to do anything alone. You're not going to do anything amazing alone. So use your village, use your people, exchange things, and get rid of that wasting category. So that's wasting category is that number 4 category, not important and not urgent, but you still end up doing it. Why? So this matrix is really great to question, why are you doing such things? It elucidates people that waste your time, things that waste your time. You can Netflix and chill. You can you can pencil that in, okay? But pencil it in, because otherwise it's going to dominate and it's going to distract. And that's not really serving anybody. So here's to your dreams. Here's to your go juice. These are the 4 quadrants that I want you to download if you have a second, and maybe print out 10, because you don't want to spend your time later coming back thinking, oh, I really want it to look pretty and I want to track it in my binder and be organized, I have to go download it every time because I can't find it on my computer. You print out 10 of them, put a hole punch, put it in the binder, and do it every week. Okay? So here is to the rest of your life. Things are not going to change if you use the same brain, the same thing that made your problems. Like Einstein said, you can't solve a problem with the same brain that made it. So let's change your brain. Be open to changing your mind. Let's get some delegation. Let's get some prioritization and download those worksheets. And I will see you on the other side. This is Nature Brain Doc, Dr. Leah. And please do subscribe, give me a little love back wherever you are. And email me how this helped you today. Okay? That's actually a distraction unless you use it for accountability. But build a relationship. It's number 2. All right. I'll see you on the other side. Goodbye.